Imagine this, an AI, not just finding your next favorite handbag, but actually going out and buying it for you. Sounds a bit like science fiction, maybe. Well, you might be surprised how close we actually are. Welcome to the Fashion Algorithm. Today, we're diving deep into the future of shopping, looking at a really interesting piece from the business of fashion. It asks, would you let an AI agent buy your next handbag? We're going to unpack these AI agents, basically, autonomous programs handling complex tasks, and explore what that really means for how you'll discover and, well, purchase fashion.
Yeah, and our mission today really is to cut through some of the buzzwords. We want to understand what these AI agents truly are, and I think more importantly, what their arrival signifies for the whole fashion e-commerce industry. And, for you listening, whether you're working at a brand, a retailer, or maybe you just love fashion, this feels like a pretty big shift coming.
It really does. And before we get into all that, this deep dive is brought to you by Cloutfit.ai. Cloutfit.ai connects influencer outfits directly to your product inventory. It makes their content instantly shoppable, driving more sales and, importantly, higher order value. You can learn more at Cloutfit.ai. That's CLOUTFIT.ai.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Mm.
AI in e-commerce. Most people probably think chatbots, right? Or maybe those
Mm.
recommendation engines. You might also like this. But AI agents sound like something, well, quite different. How are they different? And why the buzz about them being the next giant breakthrough?
Right, it's a good question because the difference is pretty significant. They're not just passive tools. These AI agents are autonomous entities. That means they can act independently, they can handle complex multi-step tasks for you. So think beyond just asking for a suggestion. Imagine the AI actually going out, doing research across different sites, comparing options, maybe even negotiating a bit, and then completing the whole checkout process. It's less like a smarter search engine and more like delegating a whole task to an assistant. An intelligent assistant, yeah.
Exactly. And that autonomy, that ability to act, is why you hear people like Sam Altman at OpenAI calling them potentially the thing that will feel like the next giant breakthrough. It signals a major shift in AI's capabilities and how we might interact with it.
That does sound like a huge leap. Are we actually seeing these agents, out in the wild yet, especially in shopping, or is it still mostly theory?
It's definitely early days, let's be clear. But yes, there are real examples starting to emerge. Perplexity, for instance, they're known for their AI answer engine. They launched a shopping feature back in November for their paying users.
Mm.
And what's interesting is how it works. If you ask it for, say, the best handbag under $1,500, it doesn't just give you a list of links. Instead, you get this concise, curated selection, maybe 5 specific bags, like a Chloe Kiss Small or a Strathberry Mosaic. It pulls details from articles, blogs, YouTube reviews. Gives you prices, direct links.
And the crucial part, it can actually buy it for you, right?
Mm.
Through that buy with pro option. That's the autonomous bit.
That's exactly it. That's the agent behavior we're talking about. But, as you'd expect with cutting-edge tech, it's not perfect. Far from it sometimes.
Oh, okay. So what are the limitations people are running into?
Well, the business of fashion piece had a great example. Someone asked for best zip boots for men, and one of the results came back with stiletto heels, described as a women's boot. So, clearly a mismatch there.
Slight chuckle. Okay, yeah, that's not ideal for men's boots.
Not quite. And there have been other issues, like products linked for purchase not quite matching the research summary. Or TechCrunch reported that letting Perplexity handle the checkout could be really slow, like hours slow in one case. So these are definite hurdles, especially for fashion where accuracy and, speed matter a lot.
That stiletto boot example, it
Mhm.
does make you pause. It shows the limits, but maybe also some unexpected AI creativity. Anyway, while Perplexity shows the potential, those glitches make you wonder, is this just a niche experiment or are the big players really investing here? Amazon, Google, Salesforce, are they in?
Oh, absolutely. They are definitely not sitting on the sidelines. Amazon Web Services, AWS, they're actively prototyping agents for suggesting products, adding things to carts. Their vision, according to Vince Coe at AWS, is actually offering these agents as a service to brands and retailers.
Ah, interesting. So not just for consumers directly.
Right. Imagine an agent using computer vision, like looking at photos of your closet, learning your style visually, and then making super tailored recommendations. That's the kind of thing they're thinking about. Google's exploring it too for tasks like checking local store inventory or even starting returns and arranging pickups. Real logistical stuff. And Salesforce. They already have a platform called Agentforce. Saks Fifth Avenue is already using it. So yes, the big tech companies are very much involved.
Okay, so the tech giants are building the tools, both for us and for businesses. But why now? From the consumer side, what's driving this? Is there really a demand?
I think the why now really comes down to information overload. We're just drowning in choices online, aren't we?
Yeah.
We already saw AI chatbots give online sales a bump over the holidays, nearly 4% in the US. That suggests people do want simpler AI help.
Mm.
And Gartner's forecast is pretty bold. They think over half of consumers might be routinely shopping with AI agents by 2027.
Wow, that's soon.
It is. And it feels like an evolution of that whole frictionless commerce idea, like Amazon's one-click checkout was years ago. But this is different. It's not just faster clicks. It's about delegating the whole discovery and decision process. And for anyone listening who works in fashion e-commerce, this is huge. It's not just about convenience for the shopper. It's potentially restructuring the entire way people find and buy things. Understanding these agents and the behaviors they encourage is becoming critical.
It really does sound like a fundamental shift is coming. So let's talk about the promise specifically for fashion and beauty e-commerce. Because like you said, buying fashion isn't like buying batteries. It's emotional. It's about personal taste, brand identity. How can an AI possibly handle that nuance?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And it's precisely where the potential breakthrough lies. It is challenging, but the promise is that these agents can learn and leverage that nuance. They're not just matching keywords anymore. They're designed to learn your aesthetic, your preferred colors, brands you like, the fit you go for, even the occasions you shop for. And because of that, they could unlock completely new kinds of experiences for shoppers, things way beyond a search bar.
That idea from Vince Coe at Amazon. An agent scanning your closet with computer vision, learning your style visually, then making tailored suggestions. That sounds like a genuine personal stylist. And it tackles that core problem, right? Finding things that fit your specific taste without scrolling forever.
Exactly. And it's not just about static recommendations either. Dmitry Shevelenko from Perplexity talks about agents proactively suggesting things, like little nudges and notifications that lead to a simple one-click action to buy. This really gets at that massive curation problem in online fashion. Retailers have huge inventories. How do they show you, the individual shopper, the stuff you'll actually like? AI agents could be the ultimate tool for that, learning those deep, maybe even intangible preferences, like Spotify for your music, but for your wardrobe.
Agent-augmented discovery. I like that. The AI does the hard work of sifting. You get the fun part of choosing.
Precisely.
So the customer benefits seem pretty clear, potentially, but you mentioned internal uses too. How could these agents help brands and retailers behind the scenes?
Yeah, this is a really important angle. Justin Hahnemann at Amazon mentioned some powerful internal uses. Think about agents analyzing social media trends constantly, spotting micro trends almost instantly. That gives product development real-time insights. Or they could run visual analysis on inventory, find products that match a new campaign look automatically. They could even generate draft design briefs based on market data and what competitors are doing. It's about streamlining, speeding things up, making smarter decisions internally.
And this is where it connects directly back to services like our sponsor, Cloutfit.ai, doesn't it? If agents can understand style from visuals like influencer photos and link that straight to inventory.
Exactly. It's a perfect synergy. AI agents could be the intelligence that uses those Cloutfit.ai connections for the consumer. Imagine the agent sees an influencer look you like, knows your style and size, and just presents the items maybe already in your cart, ready for one click. It turns that moment of inspiration into an immediate intelligent purchase. That's a massive potential boost for conversion rates and order values in fashion e-commerce.
Okay, the potential sounds enormous, truly transformative, but like with any big tech shift, there have got to be hurdles, right? And probably some tricky questions too. What are the big challenges facing AI agents, especially in fashion?
Well, one of the first things people bring up is what you could call the joy of shopping paradox, especially for fashion or beauty, browsing, discovering, trying things on. That's part of the fun for a lot of people. It's not just a chore. Perplexity's Shevelenko actually touched on this. He said the goal isn't to automate away the joy, it's to get rid of the annoying parts.
Like the endless scrolling or confusing checkout.
Exactly. But it raises a strategic point for brands.
Yeah.
How do you use these efficient agents without losing that emotional connection, that sense of discovery? It
Right.
suggests maybe the future isn't full automation, particularly for higher-end fashion, but more like agent-augmented shopping.
Yeah.
The AI handles the grunt work. You still get the enjoyable bits.
That makes sense. Balancing efficiency with experience. So beyond that sort of philosophical point, what about the real practical roadblocks for fashion e-commerce?
I think a major one, maybe the biggest, is data integration. For an agent to work well, check inventory in real time, know if a size is available, make accurate suggestions. It needs instant access to clean, up-to-the-minute data from everywhere in the brand system. And Justin Hunneman from Amazon pointed out, many legacy retailers just aren't built that way. Their systems are often siloed, disconnected. Getting that real-time data flow is a huge technical challenge.
A data integration nightmare, potentially.
It really can be. This isn't just an IT issue. It's strategic. It might dictate which brands can actually leverage this tech effectively. It could force big investments in back-end systems and maybe give an edge to newer, digitally native brands that are already more agile with data. I've seen how tough it is for older systems to communicate properly. It's a bottleneck.
That sounds like a massive undertaking for many established players. And then there's the issue we always hear about with the underlying AI, the LLMs, this idea of hallucinations. What does that mean for shopping? How big a worry is it?
Right, hallucinations. It basically means the AI, because it works on probabilities, can sometimes just make stuff up. It might generate information that sounds right but is wrong, or suggest products or features that don't actually exist. Perplexity's CEO even admitted they don't fully get how their AI ranks products sometimes. Now, some experts, like Jason Goldberg at Publicis Group, think it's not a deal breaker, not something that needs to be perfect. But it's definitely a concern for brands, as Amazon's Vince Coe mentioned. Especially in fashion, details matter. Wrong color, wrong material, wrong size availability that kills trust instantly.
Absolutely.
So brands will absolutely need ways to check this to mitigate the risk and ensure the information the agent gives out is accurate. Quality control becomes crucial.
Which leads straight into maybe the trickiest question, the ethical one posed by Gartner's Andrew Franks. Whose side are these agents really on?
Yeah, this is fundamental. If the platforms developing these agents, like Google or Amazon, make a lot of money from advertising, well, you have to ask, will the agent prioritize the absolute best product for you, the consumer? Or will it subtly steer you towards products from advertisers? It's a real tension. Perplexity's decision right now not to take affiliate fees on sales is interesting. They're clearly trying to build trust by saying, we're not just pushing sales for profit. For fashion brands, where authenticity and personal style are so key, proving your agent is genuinely helpful, not just a glorified sales bot, is going to be absolutely vital. Lose that trust, and users will just switch off.
So it's clear for anyone in fashion e-commerce, these aren't just tech hurdles. They're strategic, they're ethical, you need the data infrastructure, you need plans for AI errors, and critically, you need to convince customers your agent is genuinely helping them. That's a complex balancing act. Which brings us to the so what? What does this all really mean for the fashion industry moving forward?
Well, first, it means challenging that old idea that fashion is just too subjective for AI. Andrew Frank's point about LLMs understanding vibes and nebulous brand qualities is key here. It suggests AI can get the nuance. So, the first actionable insight. Prioritize that data infrastructure. Real-time inventory, good customer data. It's not a nice-to-have anymore. It's the absolute foundation for making AI agents work effectively. Without clean, accessible data, these agents just can't deliver.
Got it. Bedrock is data. What's next?
Second, a relentless focus on trust and transparency. Given the hallucination risk and that whose side question, brands have to be upfront about how they're using AI. Build trust carefully, because one bad experience, like Shevelenko said, could turn someone off this tech and maybe off your brand too.
Makes sense. And third,
Third, look beyond just customer-facing stuff. Think internal efficiencies. Use agents for trend spotting, optimizing inventory, maybe even helping with initial design concepts based on data.
Yes.
This can give you a real competitive edge, make you more adherable.
right, streamline the back end too. And the fourth point,
Fourth, and this is maybe the biggest mindset shift, prepare for a proactive customer experience. We're moving away from people just searching for things towards agents actively anticipating needs and making suggestions. So brands need to rethink discovery. How do you ensure your brand, your products, are the ones the agent trusts and recommends when it's proactively advising a customer? It's a different marketing challenge.
that's a profound shift in the dynamic.
It really is. So ultimately, for everyone in fashion e-commerce, AI agents aren't just another tech trend. They signal a potential reshaping of the entire customer journey. Adapting your tech, your strategy, your customer relationships. That's going to be key to unlocking the opportunities here. More sales, higher order values, and hopefully much deeper customer loyalty.
We've definitely covered a lot today. How AI agents could revolutionize fashion shopping, making it more seamless, more personal. That promise of finding the perfect thing effortlessly is really appealing. But as we've heard, there are big hurdles, technical, strategic, ethical ones to navigate. So, as we wrap up this deep dive on the fashion algorithm, here's something for you to think about. When it comes to your own style, your own shopping, what part of that journey would you trust an AI agent with, and what part feels too personal, something you'd never hand over? We'd genuinely love to hear what you think. Find us on social media and let us know. And if you found this useful, please do share it with a colleague or friend in the industry. Make sure you're subscribed to the fashion algorithm wherever you listen so you don't miss our future explorations. And a big thank you again to our sponsor, Cloutfit.ai. Remember, they make influencer outfits instantly shoppable. Find out more at cloutfit.ai, CLOUTFIT.ai.
Until next time, keep exploring these changes, keep learning, and stay well informed.